Hello, and welcome to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the injury market's top program for doctors, lawyers, and insurers who want to gain greater insight on how to improve patient recovery results and deliver better services in the U.S. injury market. Please welcome your host, Dr. Jeffrey Allen Kronk.
Okay, today what I want to talk about is what problems that the attorneys have does a smart injury doctor solve for them. You know, I train doctors from all over the country, and I train them on how to take a system and to grow the personal injury side of their practice with the system with predictive precision. So one of the things when you're going out to present to somebody is you have to understand what problems do you solve for them. So if I took a chiropractor out right now and I said, okay, good, I'm going to put you in front of 100 patients and I want you to talk to them about chiropractic, and I want you to talk to them in such a way that they want to come into your clinic and treat with you. You might want to know what problem that they actually have. So let's say that 50 of the people that are sitting in that crowd have a problem with headaches, but you did a chiropractic presentation where you never mentioned headaches. Well, you're not going to be successful. If you talk to them about how you can help headaches, even though nobody said they had headaches, because you knew what problems they had before you ever went in to do the presentation, your presentation is going to be a lot more successful. So doctors in the personal injury market will want to go out and do lunch and learns and talk to attorneys, and everybody has the same spiel. Oh my God, I got a great office. We do great work. We do great injury work. We have great documentation. They all say the same thing, right? But whatever they're presenting does not actually tickle or touch the problems that the law offices have. Now, there's a lot of problems. I'm going to touch on three today, just three. Three common ones, probably some of the most common, that the doctors will resolve. So one of the most common problems that attorneys have is causation. What you have listed for the injury does not cause all the symptoms that the patient actually has. You have a causation problem. Biggest example of that I can show is a causation issue with disc herniations. So a disc herniation itself, unto itself, on an MRI, if that's all you have because you listen to the attorney and the attorney says, give me an MRI, that's all you have a causation issue. Because in disc herniation, if I go out to Medscape right now and I say, what is a clinical presentation of a disc herniation? It's going to tell me it has 2 symptoms. But your patient has 16 symptoms. A disc herniation is not going to cause dizziness. It's not going to cause visual disturbances. It's not going to cause generally headaches. It's not going to cause a lot of symptoms. It's going to cause 2, radicular pain and localized pain at the level of the disc herniation. That's what it's going to cause. If you got any other symptoms, you have a causation issue. So the attorneys have 3 problems: causation issues, pre-existing condition issues, and inconsistent medical records issues. Now, I just gave you a causation issue. That's a causation issue. If basically, think of it this way. The person has a cut on their forearm, and you're basically saying they have breathing difficulties, they have problems with their balance, they have problems with their blood clotting levels, they have problems with their heart rate, it's like, well, no, this doesn't match up with the thing you just diagnosed, which was, a skin laceration. Okay, same with the disc. The disc is the most overplayed tissue in the whole spinal injury market. You want to stay in the bloody red ocean of high competition and being minimized as a chiropractor. You want to continuously be commoditized as a chiropractor. Stay in the disc market. Decide that you're an expert on, I can age date the disc and I can read the disc MRI. I can read the MRI better than a radiologist can, and all of these things that chiropractors, to me, look absolutely ridiculous in the market doing. Right? Stay in the disc. The disc is not where it's at. The disc is not generally going to cause the majority of symptoms. It's not. It is a problem. I'm not going to minimize it as a problem, but it's gotten so oversold. Right? So there's causation. Disc herniation on MRI, you don't actually have the causation. There's no amount of energy. This is what is so fun when the doctors come into our Smart Injury Doctors program, because they learn to simplify the injuries in their injury understanding. They learn to take all of this education that they have, right? Which you have years and 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 years of education, and they get to simplify it, right? So causation issues are a problem. Pre-existing condition, same thing. I just said, if you got a disc herniation on MRI, generally it's not consistent with it's caused by the accident. Now, why? Well, if I took your right index finger and I smashed it with a hammer, you said, damn, Dr. Cronk, you just broke my finger. I said, no, I didn't. And you said you took it out, went out to an imaging center, went to the MD, they sent you out to the imaging center, you took an image, said, yep, you got a fracture of your finger. Okay, good. What's my insurance company going to say? Dr. Cronk doesn't have enough strength to hit your finger hard enough with a hammer to break it. That's the low impact, not enough damage. That's that whole area, right? Dr. Cronk's not strong enough. As a matter of fact, we sent him out for an independent review, and he tested in the lower 90 percentile for strength in a right arm for an adult male his age. It's impossible for him to swing a hammer hard enough to break your finger. What's the other thing they're going to say? Must have been a pre-existing condition. Must have already been there. Disc herniations. How many adults have disc herniations that aren't causing a problem? It's already there. How do you know it wasn't already there? That's a pre-existing condition problem. And boy, do we solve that in our program. Boy, do we solve that. It takes me about 45 minutes to solve every pre-existing condition problem you're going to have. Now, more importantly, when you solve it, you can solve it for others. Okay, so how are you doing a presentation where you're showing that you're without telling the attorney does a presentation and goes, oh my God, this is gonna help us with our causation issues. Oh my God, this is gonna help us with our pre-existing condition issues. How about the third one? Inconsistent medical records. What's inconsistent medical records? It's you not working with doctors that know what the hell you're doing. Because if you work with doctors that know what you're doing, you're all aligned in what you're doing. Remember, a spine is probably, the spine only has 3 injuries that it can have. No matter if it's being worked up by it. I'm going to back up. If I burn you with a blowtorch on the wrist, that's a burn. Now, it doesn't matter if you take your burn into a vet, into a chiropractor, into a naturopath, into an MD, general practitioner, or into a burn specialist, the burn is the same. So the people that are working up the burn just have to know how to work up the burn. And if they all communicated the same because they were working it up the same, there is no inconsistent medical records. But in the injury market, it's the blind leading blind. Most people don't know what a spinal injury even looks like, let alone how to work it up, and they're not standardly working it up. So when you are standardly working it up, you just got to start to recruit other professionals that you're working with that basically understand. If I send it over to the pain management specialist and basically I got a excessive motion problem that's clinically qualified for spinal fusion surgery under spinal fusion guidelines, obviously it's going to cause a facet problem. Obviously that's from a ligament condition. My pain management specialist can say the same thing. So can my surgeon. Everybody, same way. No inconsistent medical records. So now I'm doing a presentation where I'm presenting some simple concepts that the attorney can understand, and the attorney is sitting there going, wow, this is going to help us with our causation issues, even though they've never told you had a causation issue. Doctor, you don't go out to attorneys and say, you know what? I have a hard time keeping staff. I have a hard time with my money. I have a hard time developing services so that they're cost effective enough that I can retire early. You don't go out and start telling them all your problems. Well, guess what? They're not going to tell you their problems either. That's not social intercourse. You don't actually go out in the course of being social and go, oh, let me tell you all my problems so that you can like me more, so that you want to do business with me. So you have to train, or you have to be around people that know what problems they have, so you can know what problems they solve or what problems you solve for them. So you can do a presentation that's simple, not overwhelm. I mean, so many doctors today in the market, and myself included in the past, They try to bring so many concepts up in 1 hour in an attorney presentation that it's unreal. All you're going to do is overwhelm them. And that's all they walk out. They might walk out and say, oh my God, that's a great presentation. This was fantastic. But all you did is overwhelm them. You have to keep your concepts simple. And they have to look at it and say, wow, this solves my causation issues. This solves my pre-existing condition issues. And this solves my inconsistent medical records issues. This is my solution. These people help. Wow, I want to start a referral relationship. As a matter of fact, we got a couple cases right now where I've got, people in our office that have a negative MRI. And so I want to start doing business with Dr. Cronk or Dr. Butch or Dr. Trevor or Dr. whoever you are. Right? You have to know the problems that you're solving. And that's one of the things that I'm most proud of our program, is I'm teaching you the problems that you're solving in the market. I'm getting you prepared for opportunities. I've said this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it again today on this podcast because I love it so much. That it's something that I realized in coaching doctors, and it took me a long time to discover this. But I lived by the motto of success is when preparation meets opportunity. I did it throughout my whole sports career. There's an error in that. There's a lie in that. And that is this. Without preparation, you can't see the opportunity in the first place. You're blind. You have opportunity blindness without preparation. You can't see it. It's all around you. The spinal injury market is the largest market there is in all of healthcare. It's the most lucrative market. The home injury market is 5 times the size of the auto injury market. And when I say it to a lot of doctors, you're going to go, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to access it. It's because you're not prepared. It's that simple. You're just not prepared. So you can prepare, and that's what we do in the Smart Injury Doctors program. How do you find out more about it? Well, you just go out to our website, www.smartinjurydoctors.com, and you look us up or you give us a call. The phone number is right at the bottom, 727-306-2267. Are you going to get me? No, you won't get me. You'll get an assistant, and they'll be able to set you up with whatever you need. Maybe you need a strategy call with me, 30-minute strategy call. They're free. Maybe you want a discovery call with me. Okay, go ahead and call. Set it up. It's easy. The injury market is the most lucrative market, and when you can solve problems for the people that are in the market, you can be a win-win for everybody. See, in our program, I teach you, you're a win for the patient, you're going to get better results, you're a win for the plaintiff attorney, you're a win for the defense attorney, you're the win for the insurer, you're a win for the employer, you're a win for the employer's insurance if you're in the work comp market. You want to solve problems for everyone in that market. And that's the beautiful thing. So doctors, what I do on these podcasts, just short, kind of riff on a topic. Hopefully it stimulates some thought, gives you some ideas, something to think about. And then I realize and acknowledge, I appreciate everything you do in this market. I understand you, and I look forward to delivering more content to you on the next podcast.
You've been listening to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the #1 audio production show for professionals in the U.S. injury market that want to deliver better injury services to the patients, clients, or insureds they serve. If you like what you heard today, please leave us a review and don't forget to join us on our next program.